Okay, now to introduce Ms. Dara Lee. Dara is our class valedictorian this year. And if I were able to show you her resume, you can just imagine the list of accolades that you would see. Not to downplay any of this, however, when talking about Dara, this becomes almost a side note. Here's the way I see Dara. In the first week of music theory class last year, and last year is when she took my class, she brought a CD one day. She put it on my desk and she said, "The Austin Symphony last year played a composition of mine. Do you want to hear it?" Of course I want to hear it. And I heard it. It was wonderful. She used strings, flute. You like flute. She loves flute. It was expertly written. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm going, great. How do I keep her interested, challenged? Bad things happen when talented students are not challenged. So I was worried, but one day during lunch, she came up to me and she told me, "Don't worry, I have enough stresses in the day, and if music theory is one little window of peace in her life, that's how she likes it." So after that, I was not worried about you. So as I mentioned, Dara is an accomplished composer. She has been the finalist of the Young Masters Composition Contest 2 years in a row now, so if you were to go down to the road to the Dallas Museum of Art, you would see her composition on the wall. But it wasn't much later in that year that I learned that Dara is equally, if not more, accomplished as a scientist. Among others, she has won top awards from the International Science Engineering Fair, NASA Research Award, NASA, I guess you would say it, MIT Lincoln Laboratory Linear Program. Very impressive. I also reached out to other teachers about Dara, and here's what one of your teachers said, and you can guess which teacher this might have been, and he says it much better than I can. "She is the complete package, exclamation point, equally skilled in languages, communication, the arts, physics, biochemistry, mathematics. She is the quintessential example of a modern-day Renaissance woman. I hope and pray that my son marries a young lady just like Dara." I can't say any better except to say that that teacher's son might be in line behind my own. That's all, okay? With that, ladies and gentlemen, Dara Lee.
So my musical journey began at age 6 when I first started taking piano lessons. And a couple months later, my elder sister was preparing for the 2005 PTA Reflections Contest. And as an indignant kid that was suffering from the middle child syndrome, I was determined to prove that I too was capable of such a feat. However, it was the night before the deadline, and more importantly, it was dangerously close to my bedtime. So most of the art categories, including essays, dance, and visual arts, were out of the question. Realistically, only music composition was left. Earlier that day, I had made my way through a picture book that discussed the life of a Civil War drummer boy. And after 30 minutes of improvising at the piano, I had somehow translated his story into a short little song, my first composition. 10 years later, the Austin Symphony Orchestra performed my symphonic piece, Bosque del Apache. To me, composing music is like painting colors on a white canvas, beautiful and pristine in a murky world of jumbled noises. Although my love of painting music was immediate, my skill was definitely not. Through various growing experiences, such as taking AP Music Theory with the amazing Mr. Sato, and having the privilege to hear my music performed live, as opposed to the monotonous digital playbacks from the laptop, I learned that flutists, although I do love flutes, they actually need to breathe, which I constantly forgot, and parallel fifths must be avoided at all costs. And I was actually contacted yesterday by the Austin Symphony Orchestra that they will be performing another one of my pieces in concert this June, which is very exciting. So as Mr. Sato mentioned, I'm also a huge science nerd, and my interests lie primarily in sustainable energy research. So I have been working on a genetically modified culture of algae for biofuel and biohydrogen production. I plan on pursuing biochemistry and with a minor in music at either Harvard, Yale, or Rice University. Music, however, will always remain as my passion, and composition will actually help guide me through my scientific journey. After all, as many people have mentioned, science and music are really bridged by creativity because a scientist needs creativity to find new solutions to existing problems, and of course, a musician needs creativity to have a unique voice. So thank you so much, Mrs. and Mr. O'Donnell, for supporting my dreams both with this scholarship and with the Young Masters program. Thank you for supporting the AP Arts, which has helped so many students, including me, with finding their voices. Your kindness has inspired me to one day give back to the young artists and young scientists of the next generation. I would also like to thank my parents and Mrs. King for being such inspirational figures in my life. And finally, I would like to thank the Communities Foundation of Texas, the Selection Committee, and Plano ISD. Without your collective help, I would definitely not be here today. Thank you.